this is our 2026. I'm glad everybody made it through the holidays, and I want to wish everybody the very, very best of a new year. And so tonight we will have a special guest on that is Rebecca Bassham, and she works in brain health, performance, and recovery. She has over 30 years of experience in health education and brain-based therapies. She is founder of Edge Neurofitness. Her work combines qEEG, brain mapping, neurofeedback, biofeedback, and neuromodulation. Her goal is simple: keep people healthy and help people think clearly, focus better, and function at their best. Rebecca began her career as a radiologic technologist in CT and MRI. This gave her a deep hands-on experience studying the brain. So I'm going to have Rebecca on in about 10 minutes here. But what I wanted to start off this event with is this podcast is with some measurements, because so many people have come to me and asked me, well, what's the difference between your helmet and another helmet? They both cost around $5,000, or well, this one costs $40,000, or this one costs $1,000. Why would we want to get yours? This one looks a little fancier. It's got this electronic control. Well, I've finally decided I'd do a comparison here amongst a few different units. So first, I'm going to show you a quick little video of a unit called Vialite. And it is unfortunately, it's one of their older models, and I know they have improved the amount of light output that they have, but let's just play this one video. This is a Vialite unit with 7.3 nanowatts as a measurement. And when I turn on the palm light up here, as you can see, we go up to 105, holding it from this distance away onto our skull. That's 105 with our palm light turned on, and there's the palm light turned off. So this is what I did that little video on. It is using an optical power meter, and this meter reads in nanowatts. That's the amount of power that comes through this little fiber optic. So it's only picking up a very, very small amount of light down the fiber optic. So what we've done is I've made a simulated helmet so that we could do some measurements. And what I've done is we can put it in any location across the skull that we want to here. But in this case, I'm going to just go more for the middle front kind of thing. And so you can see that plugged in there. Now, if I put that up to the screen, you can see there's some numbers there that are coming through. In this case, it's 0.9 nanowatts, okay, of energy. And that's just because it's light energy coming from my light source up here, as you can see it going up. So that's what we did that measurement, and you saw 7 milliwatts. Now what I'm going to do, just getting ready here, I'm going to take another unit here that's on the market. And it's a unit called Neuronics, okay? And it has a whole pile of LEDs. I forgot the LED count, but it's like 300 LEDs or something, I think 300 LEDs in there. And we'll just fire this thing up. Okay, we got power there, we got there. And now what I have to do, it does have some nice software on it, an app. And so I can go to the app. And what I'm doing right now, this Neuronic helmet is 1050 nanometer is the wavelength on here. So you'll just see two red, white, sorry, this one's the white light that comes on. So I'm going to just start the program here, test, and I've got 100%. I don't have pulsing going on. There we go. Start. I don't have pulsing going on. I just have a continuous wave of 1050 nanometer. So now what I'm going to do is take this helmet, and it is running right now. You can see the one white light there, and well, you can't really see it, but there's a little, yeah, you can see it if you're right on it. There's some light that's showing up there. That's 1050 nanometer. Usually you can't see it with your eyes, but you can, this meter will help us get there. And it's going to be just a little bit fun to hold it, but I'm going to try my best. Oops. Do you want to reach a hand around here? There we go. That's is that's Sam's hand, by the way, who's helping me. So now what I'm going to do is take the Neuronics helmet and put it over top of there. And what's the reading?
52 nanowatts.
52 nanowatts. And the reason I'm not reading it is because it's reversed on my screen. So there's the background light, and when I bring the thing over it, it's measuring a collective amount of light from the bottom of this thing at 52 nanowatts. If I take my Super Palm light and I switch it on to the 1050 nanometer, which is there right now, if I bring it up to the unit, up to the skull, that's what we're reading. So what are we reading?
195 nanowatts.
195 nanowatts with the comparison with what did we have from the other one? It was
I thought it was 52, but it went to
yeah,
about
yeah.
45.
So around 52. So if we just go quickly on top of there we go. And yeah, 52, 54, depending on where I put it on there. And then I bring this over here and I turn on the light and it's reading there we go, 154.
124 now.
Oh, 124. I flipped the digit. Okay, so you can see that even the palm light in our case has a whole lot more than that. Now here's another, this was the earlier that I did the Violite. And like I say, they do have this nasal device that allows you to clip it on your nose. But in actual fact, we have so much power that there's enough light coming through your forehead easily to be far more than what comes out of a little nasal probe. Here's another device. This is something that people would see. You can okay, I'm going to hold hopefully this. There we go. Okay, it's playing me a little song, and I'll just put that up. I can't put that. So what I'm going to do is I'm turning it off pulses. So it's going to just run continuous at full out. You can see these two green bars on there, different areas that you can light up. So now I've just started it. Okay. And this one, because it's 810 nanometer, you're actually going to see some light coming from those. Well, not very good. There's two that just light up a little bit. But this camera is a whole lot, got a really good filter on it. So I'm going to do my best here. And so I can't see anything. Oh, because we got to turn on the light. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. So we're going to bring this guy over. And this one actually is getting similar to the light that I had for my palm.
120, 130, 129 nanowatts.
Yeah, okay. So that's only one, and that this helmet has only one wavelength. It looks pretty nice and everything, but as far as what's going into the brain, that's only one wavelength at the 810 nanometer. Now, okay. Now we're going to bring out the SunPowerLED helmet, and I'm going to turn it on to the 810 nanometer. That's the 660. There's the 810. If you want to focus that onto the camera there so we can see it. Okay. So I'm going to go up into the helmet here. And what are we reading right now?
590, 600.
Now, if I put it right up, basically, we usually just set the helmet onto a person's head. We're seeing even higher numbers, but even if you want to see that, see how much, so
700 nanowatts.
700 nanowatts, okay? And so as I was showing here it's pretty neat. Our palm light, when I put it on the 1050 nanometer, you can see that you can treat areas of the brain with this and have some significant optical power. It's just not doing the whole brain. So basically, the helmet is 10 of these guys all the way around the brain. So that's a little quick demonstration to allow you to understand how much power we have. Now, remember, we started off with 7 nanowatts, sorry, and then we went up to the reading of 50, and then we had the higher reading here with this guy, and then we went with our unit and we got up to 700 nano. So a very, very large span of wavelengths of power comparison from these different helmets. And we do have the most powerful helmet on the planet right now. And it has the full power at 810 nanometer or 660. So 660, 810, or if people want 660, 1050 nanometers, we have that wavelength as well. All right. So now we're going to bring on Rebecca. Rebecca, can you come on, please? Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm even in the background there on the second
Oh,
TV.
I have my auxiliary monitor going.
Oh,
That
okay. All right. So for those that didn't hear the first time, because we started just a tiny bit late and a few things. So Rebecca is a very special lady. She has been working with autism, concussion, and other neurological issues for helping people get better. So Rebecca works in the brain health, performance, and recovery. She has over 30 years experience in health education and brain-based therapies. She is founder of Edge Neurofitness, and her work combines qEEG, brain mapping, neurofeedback, biofeedback, and neuromodulation. So, Rebecca, I probably missed a few things, and is there any way of putting some light in front of you, or turning off that light in the back?
better?
Ah, there we go. We
There we
got
go.
Rebecca now.
It's
That's
the
better.
bright light. I don't do well with bright light. I've had a history of several concussions. So yeah, not so my specialty is TBI recovery, both personally and professionally. And so anybody who's had a TBI could tell you bright lights is just no bueno. It's uncomfortable
Uh-oh.
beginning. Okay,
Well, you
I'll
better have
stop
the
now.
helmet. Do you have the helmet so you
I
can
do.
use
Do
it?
I have the helmet here? I can't.
Oh, that's
It's right beside me. I'm pointing at it. It's right beside me, and I have this here.
there, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
this is my dopamine right here. Little red light. Okay, sorry. Um,
No, no, don't be sorry.
uh,
This is fantastic. Thank you. You're joining me from California, right?
yes, I'm in. Oh, it's sunny now. Yay! It's sunny now. It's
Uh,
Southern California. Yeah. So I'm located in Oxnard, California, on Channel Islands Harbor. I work in private practice in Agora Hills. My practice is Edge Neurofitness, and I specialize in basically cognitive performance, optimal performance, mindset management, and I have a brain spa. And the helmet has been quite an addition to my brain spa. And so then also twice a week, I'm at a place called Pure Recovery, California, and I started the neuroscience department here in 2016.
Wow.
This this is a residential treatment program for addictions and TBI recovery. Our population is 100% recently retired NFL players. And
Whoa.
and so once again, I started the neuroscience department of this place in 2016. And I had my hands full. Okay, so these guys are I mean, you've read about them, right? The football players. So I get these, this is residential, so I get some of the most troubled um, people with the whole cascade of post-concussive symptoms, you know, headaches, mood issues, anxiety, PTSD, uh, bipolar, multiple polysubstance abuse. Um, so my job is to help them to rehab their brains and put them back together again. And if you do you want me to share I'm going to share my screen for a
Yeah,
minute.
please. Yeah. We'll just give you the share. Just 1 second. There you go. You should be able to.
So I pulled up, um, oh, here we go. Here we go. And let
Yep.
me go here. There we go. Okay.
It's coming through
So,
good.
okay, can you see that okay?
Yeah.
So back in the fall of 2021, my partner in crime here, Austin, and Sue Wilson, who is an icon in the field of sports psychology, we started we did a 2-month program where we started a neuroperformance lab in the NFL Hall of Fame Stadium for their NFL alum neuro their alum academy. And this was essentially a bullpen for NFL linemen. So, so once again, and these were linemen who'd been recently taken out of play. And so they needed to get their brains back in the game.
Right.
So as you can see, I've got quite a challenge here. And what I discovered shortly, I refer to myself casually as fondly as DJ Brainbeck, because what I do is I offer them light and sound, help them to march to a different tune, get the ruminating thoughts out of their head, get the party started, sing a new song, take out the broken record, or even just find the sounds of silence and be able to quiet their minds and fall asleep at night.
You
And
didn't tell me that you were DJ Brainback.
I didn't tell you that. That's kind of my little handle. So, so I started out just doing neurofeedback. And and it's a wonderful technology. And I found session after session, it's a wonderful technology. Love it. Worked with brains for about 5 years before it dawned on me, the brain's connected to the body, and there's more to it than just neurofeedback. I had this population, very challenging population, and I knew I needed more. So I started out with audio-visual entrainment to help give the brain training wheels, so to speak. Okay. I needed something when the brain just doesn't have it and doesn't quite figure it out. And so I found this is when I first found using light to help me do what I do, because as most of you who are in attendance probably understand, the brain's in charge of perceiving. It perceives and interprets the world around you. So, but if you give it a signal to follow, it's going to follow it. It's called entrainment, which is different than training, which is what the neurofeedback and the biofeedback does. So I don't want to digress too far, but I found light. I started out using just LED light with photoextend glasses. And then I started adding sound with audiovisual entrainment. And this is a picture of my late grandmother, bless her heart. And you'll see this is the before. I used to go visit her in the nursing home, and I would bring devices with me just to entertain her. And you can see how just the pulsing light, look at the difference. I would take her out in the garden with light glasses on. Now this was before this was back in
Can you zoom in on
2000.
that, click on that picture,
Uh,
or click on that slide?
do you see that? So look at the difference. It woke her up. It gave her a signal to follow, and her brain started following it. She literally woke up, and that was, uh-oh, help, help.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do this?
Oh,
Oh, I'm going to click on a slide. There we go.
yeah.
Okay, I figured it out. So, so this really got me intrigued and set me down my path of neuromodulation technologies. Okay, that's why I wanted to tell you. I found it very effective, very helpful. And, you know, people, people who, and I commend all of you for being here, is because you're here because you're interested in new things and maybe learning new things or learning more about what you're already doing. And and we're mavericks, people who are looking for new skills, new training, willing to step out of the box, take risks, and maybe even stir up a little trouble for breaking the rules. Okay. And so,
Yeah, that
so
doesn't work. How's that possible? Shining a little light on the brain.
never,
If
never.
you clicked on the slide, I think it'll go bigger for us. The one that you were talking about, your mom there. If not, that's okay. We'll.
So now
Oh,
what I'm
it's okay.
the
It
purpose of
probably.
this slide here, do you see the
Okay.
next slide about being an MMA fighter?
No, no, we don't. So you got to go out and share a new slide.
There's two powerful. One's full screen and one isn't full screen.
Ah, you got two PowerPoints going on. Which,
Really?
Like she full screened it, but she was sharing.
Wait, I'm just going to close that.
yeah, stop sharing, then share again.
Oh,
Aha, there we go. We got it.
here we go.
Yes,
Awesome. Now I'm going to move us out of the way a little bit. Okay. So, so I went from neurofeedback to using some neuromodulation technologies, and it dawned on me, and here I am, uh, I'm fighting the battle of concussion. Okay. I'm a warrior. And I call it my multimodality approach, like MMA fighting. Okay.
right.
Because, because, you know, I noticed that neurofeedback, even photostim, it wasn't quite enough. It I didn't have a lot of time, okay? And with my population, I only had 30 days in treatment here. I have these guys, they're some of them oftentimes they're suicidal, homicidal. They're really they're the guys that you read about in the paper, okay? That's my population. By the way, they're 3 times the size of me. I got to be able to keep
Oh,
they're 3 times the size of me at least. And I'm only, I'm really low, 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. These guys are 3 times the size of me, and they're angry and they're depressed. And I had to figure out basically triage. How am I going to get them? How am I going to get them calmed down? Okay.
there you go.
And
Yep.
so I have this multimodality approach. I needed a big toolbox. Okay. Because think about it, judo doesn't work for everything. Boxing doesn't always result in a knockout. And no matter what they say, not everybody was kung fu fighting. A truly skilled fighter has a mixed set of skills to bring to the table. And over the years, I've learned on finding things to help heal myself. My own history of concussion is that I was an equestrian. Emphasis on was several head injuries, and am on my quest to heal myself and help my guys here at the treatment center. I found, it wasn't going to be limited to just one thing. And so I've always been searching for additional tools. And apparently I've I've become relatively infamous in the field for doing so, because people such as you end up in my lab and ask me to test their stuff. Okay. And my motto has always been, and my brain, by the way, is the crash test dummy. So for those of you who read EEG, you'll see this. This is me, and this is the result of the last time I rode a horse, whereby, yeah, helmets
And
aren't
that's
supposed to
not
look.
a neuro helmet either. That is a helmet to protect your brain.
And
Um,
yeah, I'd be a dead girl if it weren't for that helmet. I would have been an organ donor. And but so so anyway, it doesn't take a neuroscientist to see that there's some anomalous EEG. And you'll see if I scroll it up, you'll see it's on the left, it's bitemporal. And there's big slow transients in the left dorsolateral prefrontal cortex where the pleasure center is. So I know what it's like to feel depressed and anyway, I feel for them. And so um my goal here with when my guys first come in is really just rapid stabilization.
Hmm.
And and what I'm finding with this helmet, so fast forward, Dr. Heyman shows up in my lab with his, okay, so once again, my first goal is triage. Okay, triage. How to help them calm down, fight or flight. Because when a person's in fight or flight, they're not going to absorb the learning of neurofeedback or even psychotherapy. They're operating in their limbic lobes and they're just really stressed out. And this is the kind of EEG I would get. We've got electrodermal response, muscle tension, falling asleep. There's no alpha. And so these were my opponents, muscle tension, excessive eye movement, uh, anxiety, sweating, motion, falling asleep. And now what I'm going to do is fast forward. I started using these neuromodulation technologies to help me get these guys calm, stable, and get them some sort of relief just to want to keep coming back another day. Okay. And so that's pretty much my story of and so back to I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and you can
Okay.
just see okay. Um so I first found, once again, I started with audiovisual entrainment and various modalities. I found my first experience with photobiomodulation was in 2018. And I met Dr. Lou Lim at AAPB and
Okay.
I bought
He's
a
a
V.
great guy. He's a great
Yeah,
guy.
absolutely. And so that was my first experience, the first device. I had a V light and started using that. And then the nasal cannula and their headset, and then a couple other devices. I'll just fast forward. I had a couple other devices, and
Would
then
it would have been this one, right? That you would have used then?
no, before that,
Oh, before that, yeah.
I don't even have it in my office here, right?
Okay.
Not in this office. I'm at the
Yeah,
recovery center
they
now.
made
So
many advancements in their
yeah,
technology, and for
so
people that are wondering, this is the little nose clip that you put into the nose to shine light more on that
so
part of the
so
brain.
that's the nasal cannula, and
Yeah.
yeah, I have another. So I have several devices. I mean, this place is like the Smithsonian of of devices, and I'm willing to try anything. And in my brain, I should is the crash test dummy. If you can help this brain, then if I like it, if Mikey likes it, then everybody. So so then I bring it into the lab and offer it up. And so rewind. It was last summer, I want to say, last summer when Dr. Heyman came to my lab and he brought in the helmet. And you just can't see it from here. It's right next to me. He
Well,
brought the helmet and he brought the palm.
he brought this
And
guy in there.
yeah, so so I started doing some testing and the thing that was different about this one, and you mentioned that it is the most powerful device, the most powerful LED device on the
Yes.
market. Now, I want to differentiate. I have never used a laser. I don't like the lasers. You have to wear glasses. It can burn people. It's a class 4 medical device. It's not something that people can just use at home without a prescription.
Right.
And and
And
I've
Rebecca, you wouldn't know this, but unless you did a deep dive on my website, but I did a comparison between a 5-watt laser and our device. And after we went through that much tissue, in the end, the measurements were the same. The light measurements going through a stack of tissue, there was no difference between a laser and an LED.
and
Uh,
what I like is that the LED device is number one, it's going to be safer. It's not going to
oh
burn
yeah,
people.
super, super
It's
safe.
safer. It's more affordable. Anybody can buy it without a prescription. So it's accessible to more people.
Yep.
And what I found with your device, Tom, is that it was more effective than any other photobiomodulation device I had tried. Even before I ever took any measurements, just subjectively, I have consistently no, I can think of two people who didn't feel the difference after being on the helmet.
Right.
Only two people. And most of them, I get comments. I wrote them down. I took some little notes here today. Most of the comments I get after. Now, I want to I want to slow down for a minute and make a couple of very, very important points. Number one, I have had no ab reactions. Okay, that's huge. First, do no
Yep.
harm. That's huge. No ab reactions. And you have to keep in mind, my population, they're already suffering miserably to the extent that they're inpatients, okay? Do you think I want to do anything? I am never going to bring anything into my practice that's going to make them even potentially feel any bit any worse. No, my job is to make them feel better. Okay. So, number one, I've had no ab reactions, and I am not exaggerating. Most people, after being on the helmet, now uh, most of them say, I feel clear, brighter, alert, and energized. It woke me up. Those are typical comments, pretty consistent. I
Wow.
can think of two people who said they didn't feel any different. One of them was actually today, and I'm going to tell you about what I did with this thing today. It's going to knock your socks off. So, so that's a really important point. No ab reactions.
Now,
Another point
even
that I want to make.
can I say, Rebecca, I have had some people like, and I don't know if that was the case here or not, but I just say, even with light therapy, they'll say, like they come in and they can barely move their arm and they got so much pain and they'll use the light on there and they'll say, no, it hasn't changed much. I've still got a lot of pain. Like
That's funny.
they couldn't move their arm this far, and after they've done the treatment, they
Yeah.
can't they can move their arm this far, but I've still got a lot of pain right here.
So, so I'm using the helmet and I also have the palm device.
Right.
And I don't want to go down. Now I'm about as ADHD as they call me. I'm going to try to stay focused. Okay, it's my superpower. But so the point I want to make is with the helmet, I'm getting really good response. This is a really important point. Take note, folks, is the regimen for the helmet. I'm doing 2 minutes at 660 nanometers, and I'm doing 4 minutes at 1050 nanometers. 6 minutes. Okay. I only have 1 hour of time within the clinical model of residential treatment. Okay. I get 1 hour with these guys 2 times a week. Whatever I do has to be massively effective. And I need to squeeze as much stuff into an hour as I can to make as much progress as I can. 6 minutes. And even for home use, I have several people who've bought the Palm device. I'm guilty as much that the cobbler's kids have the bad shoes, whatever. I'm guilty of not taking care of myself as much as I should. But you know what? I have this puppy on my kitchen counter, and I just have it sitting when I do my morning devotion journaling time. I have this sitting on my counter, and I'll put it on my head, or I'll put it on I put it on my gut or whatever's hurting at the time. And you know what? I have 6 to 10 minutes. I can do that while
Yeah.
it's just wonderful that it's so quick. It doesn't take 20 minutes. It doesn't take an hour. Who doesn't have, okay, I can see a show of hands. Who doesn't have 6 minutes? Really? Okay. This is very applicable. And now the palm, I'm using the helmet and I'm using the palm
Right.
on the head, of course, but you can also use this on the body. And what I almost consistently, I honestly can't think of anybody who put this on something that hurt and said it didn't feel different. They almost always report reduction in pain
Yep.
and
That's what we
and
see.
increase, like you said, increased mobility. And
Yep.
I'm using this on retired professional athletes who are very beat up. And what's really cool is that now I want to make sure 6 minutes on brain work, okay? 2 minutes, it's actually, yeah, 2 and 4. The
Right.
recommended is 1 and 3, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If some is good, more is better. I just do 2 and 4. Sorry, not
No
sorry.
problem.
I just,
No problem.
okay.
We've got some biohackers that are pushing it to
Okay.
20, 30 minutes. Okay. So it's not like there's going to be a big problem if you double
Threshold
up the,
is,
but we
believe it or
have,
not.
I will say, Rebecca, we have had people with migraines that bad migraines come up, show up at a show. And we do 1 minute of red and then 3 minutes of near infrared. And they say much improved, not
Uh,
gone yet. And then we do another round of 1 minute and 3 minutes, and it's like almost gone. So
okay, just do 2 and 4 to start with, Tom.
I know.
So
Well,
now, FYI, folks, I'm writing protocols
yeah,
for now there is so what we've been talking about so far is just continuous red light. So this is not plugged into a pulsing box.
yeah,
This is just continuous. Oh, FYI, this is the red light. Okay, I'll put it right there. So this is the red, and
yep,
then the near infrared, you can't see it. It's naked. It's naked to the invisible eye. Okay, it's invisible to the naked eye. Okay, but
yeah.
you'll see that when you have it in front of a camera, it looks violet. It's really trippy. So I let people know, hey, it really is doing something. Just shine
Yep.
your cell phone on it. Okay. So, but what we've been talking about so far is continuous stimulation. There is also an optional pulse box here that allows you plug this into the circuit between the device and the power supply. And now this enables you to program in frequencies from 1 hertz all the way to how high does it go, Tom?
Like 10,000, but yeah,
Enough,
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Okay. So my point is you can program the helmet or the palm to do
yep.
whatever frequency you want, be it brainwave frequencies. Now I want to let you know that I'm using this responsibly that I always do a quantitative EEG brain map first. I am board certified in
Yeah.
quantitative EEG, neurofeedback,
And
biofeedback. So I've done my homework. I
And
do.
Rebecca, wouldn't you say, I just say to people, I usually ask people first get to know the helmet and continuous wave and
Mhm.
learn what you need to learn about pulsing because if they don't know what they're doing, they could cause some issues.
Firm. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And to be honest, this is preliminary. The only pulse I've ever done on the whole head is 40, 40 or 41.
Right.
And I do that I do 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 minutes. Very short. You don't want to hammer your head with gamma. That is not a good idea. And um, you also we'll talk more further suggestions for further study is getting this helmet to program in different
That's,
different frequencies at different sites. That's
yeah,
coming down the road.
yeah,
We're
that's
not
going to be, I'll just say that's going to be a while down the road. So don't, if
so
don't wait up. And if
but
it was ever something really special situation, we'll work some kind of deal where we'll trade
but
you up
that's where
some.
I use the palm.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
that's
use the palm for local frequencies and such to get the brain to wake up to certain frequencies. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm getting such good results with just continuous for the 6 minute regimen.
well,
It's like,
I just want to share the story with the folks out there.
yeah,
Rebecca put me onto this is a device that this is BrainBit, and what it does is it has these little probes in there, and once a person puts this thing on, and I'm not going to do it, it picks up all 8 different spots, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. Actually, you can put it to wherever you want it to be, but this was 4 and 4. And with the one doctor, neurologist that we're going to have on in 2 weeks' time. Next week, we've got Alex Nye, who has worked extensively with software with these types of devices. This is for helping to map the brain to see some of the channels that Rebecca was showing. But when we put this cap on him and got it running, we put the helmet on him. We did the baseline, and he just went really calm as soon as we turned on like in 2 minutes. Alex was reading the brain, the mapping the brain and seeing all those squiggly lines that he was saying, and he says, "Wow!" He says, look at this," and he was going into this real calm state, and his wife and him and my wife and I were going to go out to eat, and so anyways, we were delayed trying to get all this set up and getting it working, and then we got it working, and then he was getting into this calm state, and then Alex had said, "What's going on? You're thinking really, really deeply about something. You're really firing." And he says, "Okay." He says, "I'll admit, I just started thinking about the fact that I'd have to explain to my wife why we're late." So he was actually in real time, we were seeing his all of a sudden going from this calmer state to, more firing going on. And I'm sure Rebecca could explain it 1,000 times better than I just did. But he was, as a neurosurgeon, he was so impressed that we could look at the waveforms in real time with a device that hooks up to a cell
So,
phone.
so Tom, I think you're referring to Dr. Joe Maroon that you
Yes,
were that
yes,
you were busy. Alex Nye is the one who sent you the device,
yes,
and Joe
that's correct.
Maroon was the one. So he is the team doctor for the Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way, and he's also the neurosurgeon who was depicted in the movie Concussion. He showed up in my lab back in 2017. We've had a great working relationship ever since then and have partnered in several projects. And I brought him in on this one.
And you
Uh,
connected me to him. And
I connected you to him and Alex.
I
Yeah.
am so grateful that you did that for us. And
Well, we're all in this together. We're all in this battle to help people and make the world a better place and it takes a team. We need doctors, we need techs, we need engineers and developers and investors.
yeah,
And so, right?
investors,
Hint, hint,
investors.
okay. Bring it. Because this stuff is expensive, it's time consuming. We're doing studies and I wanted to mention that we've got some studies underway. The first one we started with the Palm device was with looking at a whole family of people here in Ventura who are on the spectrum. The mom, functional, struggling though, struggling. And because she's got two little boys, one of them is 7, I want to say he's 7, and he's higher functioning, but struggling. They're all on the IEPs and special classes. And the 4-year-old is one of these very low functioning, nonverbal, wild child. I tried everything in the book to get a cap on
So
him to
very,
get
very
pre
much
and
moving, that kind of thing.
moving, climbing, running, jumping, wildness. And so I couldn't get any data on him, but I got data on the little bit older brother and on the mother. So then set him up with the Palm device.
Right?
And I'm not going to give you secret sauce protocols or anything like that, but based on the brain maps and also knowing that up to 80% of EEG is heritable, so figured the 4-year-old, even though I don't know what his brain is doing, we pretty much know what his brain is doing. It's probably just like what his mom and his brother are doing. But anyway, so put him on some protocols. That kid, and the mom is a very good record keeper.
Hmm.
And and now the 4-year-old, I I check on them periodically. Mom keeps in touch. Dr. Heyman and we're following this case very closely. And little brother now is speaking some words. And he said, when I saw the mom in person and she told me, she literally tells me, he said mama for the first time.
Oh, and that was,
Epic.
if I remember
4 years she's been waiting to hear mama.
oh wow. And then if I remember correctly, absolutely nothing. And then after the first treatment, there was some babbling going on, right?
And
Something like,
sleeping better.
okay. And then a
Yeah,
little
it
while
started
like,
with the babbling and then some words and then the mama and
oh,
sleeping better. I haven't checked in with them lately because the holidays and the whole family had the flu. If you can imagine being home with the flu, I remember I raised three children and they were born in a 4-year span, and all three of them were wildly ADHD. They can't help it. It's in their gene pool. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But so I know that's what got me into this field. Okay. So anyway, and then the concussion stuff is so anyway, my point is the preliminary studies. So we're monitoring this family closely. I got psychophysiology, basically and I want to come back to this. Please help rein me in, circle back. We're going to talk about the physiology because the brain is connected to the body. We don't want to just focus on the brain because as many of you must know, people in attendance here, as long as you're hyperventilating and you're holding excess muscle tension, you probably still could have a propensity to get headaches, have anxiety, sore muscles. Like it's all connected. That's why I look at the whole thing. So I've got physiology data, heart rate, respiration, real respiration, not just extracted from a BVP sensor. So heart rate variability, skin conductance, finger temperature, and muscle tension. So the full peripherals. The only thing I didn't do was I ran out of money. I don't have a capnometer. Okay. Um, Forgive me. I just don't have it, but I don't have that investor either. So anyway, um, so um, did physiology and brain data on the two, and we're monitoring them closely. And we're planning to write a paper, a pilot study paper with Dr. Margaret Nasser,
yeah.
who is a
We've had
pioneer in the
her,
field.
we've had her on the program
So
here. She's
we're going
fantastic.
to bring her in on this
Is
and
she
we're
on
going to
call?
write about our findings. So stay tuned for results. And so we're also looking at TBI. And so I'm in this hotbed of
Margaret, you out
Is
there?
she
Do you
here?
want to come? Do you want to join us for a moment? Margaret, are you
Is
out
she
there?
here? I don't know. I haven't met her yet, but we just know I think we talked on the phone one time.
Okay, Margaret, if you can join in, put your video and audio on, I think you can. But you
Is she
have
here?
to, yeah, I see her we're you oh, okay. She'd rather pass. So, okay, all right. Well, anyways, we got
Well,
lots of
just do like this. They won't be able to see your face.
maybe
Well, talk to
some
us.
women complain
Anyway.
about a bad hair day. Never consider
My hair's always the same. It's always anyway.
that.
Okay, so we're also looking at PTSD. Preliminary, I started the study officially today. Now, no IRB yet. This is a pilot study, okay?
Yeah.
But I said, well, let's measure it. I brought two guys in 1 hour. I hooked up. I did not look at brain data. I wanted to see PTSD. Hello, post-traumatic stress disorder. So what I did is I hooked up all the peripheral sensors as mentioned, and and I recorded a baseline for 2 minutes. It was either two or three, and then I recorded during 2 minutes of 660 with the helmet on,
Yep.
2 minutes of 660, and 4 minutes of 1050 nanometers.
Yep.
Recorded the whole time during, then paused, and then I did a 3 minute post.
Okay.
I did that with two guys. I have not looked at I have the reports and I did a preliminary inspection. And if, we can look at, I don't know if we want to spend, it's already 4:51, but
Yeah.
just so you know, I've got reports on those too. This was just the beginning. I didn't have time to hook up their brain and I only have an hour, but I wanted to see what their autonomic nervous system stress level was before, during, and after.
Right.
So I got the data. That's
Okay.
what I did today.
Eh,
And so we're looking at PTSD and while they're in session doing their neurofeedback or biofeedback or whatever, I'm like, hey, do you have pain anywhere? Of course, they all say they have pain somewhere. They're retired football players. And so I just give them the palm and I turn it on, I set a timer, and I let them put it on their knee or their shoulder or their back. And they love me. They literally line up at the door and they want more. So,
okay.
um,
Well,
so that's what I have been doing.
Well, that is fantastic. And I have to say, there was a comment by Susan saying, Rebecca, you are so inspirational.
Thank you. I've been called much worse. Thank you.
And it's another comment here. That's amazing. Wow. So
It
we'll
is.
uh, so let's answer a few questions, and we'll yeah, there's a number of congratulations and thank yous here coming up. So yeah, we'll see some questions that are coming in just a moment. People are still just hanging on your last words here. But yeah, we can see so much with light effects on the brain. It's really quite amazing. Yeah, so is there any benefit for dementia?
Okay, so I'm just starting out. I have a case in my private office. How old we, born in
That's a question
1959.
from Cindy.
So I just took on my first case of early onset Alzheimer's dementia. This gentleman, born in 1959, so don't make me do math. What does that make him? 66? 65,
59,
66,
66.
depends on
Yeah.
when. So, so he couldn't even get through the alphabet. He could not say the whole alphabet.
Hmm.
Okay. And his friends referred him to me. His wife brought him in, and um, I've I've had him on the helmet 2 times. So stay tuned. Don't know
Okay.
yet. Stay
Okay.
tuned. But I can tell you, he's bright. He got up. So I had him in my private office yesterday in Agora Hills. Had him on the helmet. It's the second time. And I also put the palm so the helmet on continuous.
Yes.
And I want to caution you guys. I don't know if any of you have had this happen. If there's any history of TBI or PTSD, don't do 40 hertz. Don't do it for more than maybe a minute. But it's just asking the brain too much. And I can tell you from personal experience that first time with the V light at the AAP 2018, and
Yeah.
they put me on I'm like, yeah, I want to be smart. I want to learn every day. I want to be bright. And I got all these and I'm not sleeping. And anyway, I did the 20 minutes at 40 hertz, got through. Oh yeah, I had energy and I was paying attention. I was the focusing machine. I go to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night with the most raging night terror I've ever had in my entire life. I still remember that dream as vivid as if it was just last night. Woke up, sat up, screaming at the top of my lungs. Don't do it if there's a history of PTSD or TBI. It's just asking the brain to do too much.
And that's with the
So
pulsing. That's with the pulsing.
that's any device, anything that you're 40 hertz, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So keep it
We're,
in
yeah, and
either
we
continuous,
usually suggest to people start with continuous wave
continuous. And
until
that's
you
just
know what you're doing, and then you have to slowly integrate that in. But you better know what you're
and
doing before you
and
pull
then
it.
when you start introducing pulses, make sure you do it with
So
a
we have
brain map.
in dementia, we've seen I had a fellow with Lewy body dementia, and he was like in the middle of the night reacting to bad dreams, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Almost he needed 24/7 care, and he couldn't put sentences together. After about 2.5 months, I had him on my program. I have him on my podcast, and he was able to he got on and he said, well, everybody should consider using this light because it's so safe, it's so easy to use. And he went through like 5 sentences, and like he can't usually do that, like he can't get a whole thought out. And it was like the Alan that I knew, and so it really helped him, really helped calm him, did a number of things. So with the dementia, Parkinson's, we've seen help with Parkinson's. We've ADHD. I've got a couple people that has seen that they've seen kind of more of a calmness, more of a of being able to focus. So there's some that to that. So that's what I've been able to see over this so far.
So I see a couple questions. Does it
Yeah,
help? I'm looking here. Does it help with ADHD? So I can tell you personal experience, absolutely resounding yes. And just once again, you testing it on my own brain. I mean, look at I noticed. I say, yeah, it's helping. And um, the next was somebody asked about, do I use the same time with the Super Palm and the helmet? Yeah, it's the technology. I use the same regimen as far as time on the brain, regardless of if it's the helmet or the palm. I'm doing 2 minutes and 4 minutes. And then on the body, though, I want to differentiate. I've been doing 3 minutes and 7 minutes. And I just got a text from Dr. Heyman, and he said it was more like, was it 5 and 7 minutes? You really can't overdo it so much with the body.
yeah.
Um,
And I've had
so
people with migraines. They start off our usual program protocol is 1 minute, 3 minutes. So they'll do 1 minute, 3 minutes here, 1 minute, 3 minutes there. They'll kind of go and do bathe their whole skull. So they will spend maybe a half an hour in that case on their brain and
um,
have had good success. Once they know where the trigger is, if they ever can figure that out, then they can stay with a much shorter treatment just on that area. But if they're using the helmet, 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, 4 minutes,
so
we've had
I
good. Go ahead.
I've been doing a combo of the helmet and the palm. So
Okay.
helmet continuous, and then I take the palm and based on what I see on the brain map, and I see somebody mention I'm using the palm on Wernicke's area for word finding. So I have a couple, I'm working with a couple of and these aren't retired guys. These are current, they're professional street bike world-class motorcycle racers in my private office. One of them had a horrible TBI, literally was rendered unconscious in a coma for a time, really bad head injury. And nobody was able to help him. The doctor said, well, this is about as good as it's going to get. He could walk, he could talk, he was slurring his words, very fatigued, and the whole cascade of post-concussive symptoms. And the doctors basically turned him loose and said, well, this is as good as it's going to get. Well, he has a very good friend who knows me very well and sent him to me and left lots of left side damage. Really, really, you'll see it on the map, but lots of left side damage. Word finding, verbal expression, the whole left side really wiped out. And he is now, to the extent, one of the things that he said was his wife came and said, he said something about, okay, I'm going to go to Egypt to the mailbox to get the mail. Like the words were not making sense. And memory was terrible. He couldn't get through the day, working, trying to go back to work, pushing himself. Anyway, he is making phenomenal progress.
That's
And they
beautiful.
actually, that's the couple. They bought a palm a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
And there
that's
I've got them using it at home, not just for his head, but of course he got pretty banged up physically, and it's
right.
helping with his physical injuries as well.
So
So,
Betty is asking, can it help with a stroke? And I'll say that one, unless I've had two people that I know that only two, but two people with strokes. One person their stroke was 20 years earlier with bad slur, and they did one treatment
wow.
with the palm over the whole brain, and they were able to speak normally the next day. Now that disappeared because they didn't, the person who treated them said, "Don't say anything that I'm going to treat you." And what do you think a person might do if they can finally speak clearly? They're going to tell everybody. Well, he never got any further follow-up treatments because the guy wasn't willing to do that because he was
Um,
fearful he might lose his license. So I think he got eventually they were able to do the other brain stuff and confirm that it was okay for him to use the palm light, and then he did it. But yeah, so he lost his ground, and I think he got it back again. But we also had another person that was 2 months post stroke, and he had one treatment, and he went from extremely difficult to understand to being clear. the next day. So yes, we've been able to see that. And with I cannot pronounce, there's Nathan. Anyways, how about autism? Yeah, I've seen some really cool things with autism, kind of helping them to get into a more regulated state is what I've been able to see. And we're going to launch a number of studies. We're looking for funding to help us really advance this, but we're hopeful that there's a university that wants to run a study on autism with our equipment. And so if there's somebody out there that really has a decent sized wallet book and wants to make a difference in this world, please contact us because we could start that study tomorrow. They're ready to do it. And but it does cost money to do these studies. And just for the people out there, one of the special brain mapping devices is like $20,000. Well, in order to do a great study, that's what we'd like to use one of these things so Rebecca can look at it and see the understand and read those things. And yeah, we've also been able to help with Kimberly. We've been able to help with epilepsy, seizures, and one of the fellows who got treated, he was free of seizures for 2.5 years from doing the treatments. So yeah, can help with epilepsy as well.
And stay tuned. I've got a new client came in, just did her brain map. She's been having seizures, and I saw the source. And so I'm waiting for her to schedule her follow-up. And what I'm going to do is put her on the palm, and so I'll report back.
Okay. Will the helmet trigger a men meningioma to grow?
Meningioma?
Yeah, we don't. As a matter of fact, we've got some people right now that have had glioblastomas, which is cancer. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. We'll have to cut that out. We've been censored because I used that word before. Anyways, the bad C, in the brain, and we have one case where it's holding its own very nicely, and the other case where the tumors have totally disappeared. So the light does not help bad C to grow. Let's put it that way.
I was wondering about that. Yeah. Okay.
All
Um,
right. Well, I think we got a lot of thank yous
you're welcome.
Rebecca, I think yeah, one other person who was really in bad shape. Trying to think, Jack Cruz. He used the helmet with methylene blue and totally turned his situation around. So anybody want to learn about how methylene blue might be helpful? They can look up the website methyleneblue.red, and they can learn some more about that.
I've been
But
using that in conjunction with everything I do for almost a couple years. Oh, somebody asked me how to get a hold of me. Should I put my info in the chat?
yeah,
So
sure, sure.
here's my website at edgeneurofitness.com. So that's my website or my email. My website is edgeneurofitness.com, and my phone number, feel free to call me, reach out,
Well, you're
and
in California. I know there's different time zones here, so be respective of
um wait, I got the area code. It's 928, sorry. 486-5414. That's the number. 928. I lived in Arizona when I got my cell phone, so
well,
feel free to reach out.
yeah, and I
I'd be
want to
happy to
thank
help.
everybody for coming on, and I also want you guys to tell of the next webinar for next Tuesday with Alex Nye, And then the following week will be with the other person, Dr. Joe Maroon, who's the world-renowned neurologist, will be the following week. But I want you to spread the word, everybody out there, because if anybody's close to the Pittsburgh area or wants to fly in to Pittsburgh, we will be doing a special event there, tied in with the MAHA, and Make America Healthy Again. It's one of the offshoots of that group, and it's going to be in Pittsburgh on the 27th and 28th. And I think Rebecca is going to be able to be there. Rebecca, are you going to be able to be there?
I'm planning.
Okay, all
We
right.
talked about it.
Yeah, you got it covered. So I'd
Yeah,
love to have you there. And we'll
yeah.
also have Dr. Joe Maroon there, as well as Alex Nye. So think of that. It's going to be a great event. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And I hope you have an absolutely fantastic new year. And I say may God richly bless you in this new year. And I hope you get a chance to try out light therapy, the light technology that we have. And anyways, thank you again, Rebecca. Any last words
You're welcome. I
you'd
just want
like
to
to?
thank all of you guys for your time and attention and not throwing tomatoes at me. And uh, I'm happy to help. Feel free to reach out. Best way to reach me is by text. And yeah, I'll be happy to help.
And if anybody can't missed it for some reason or whatever, just email us at info@sunpowerled.com. That's info@sunpowerled.com. Also, this will be posted on in about a few days to a week's time. It'll be posted on the YouTube. Please remember to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because once you subscribe, you won't miss another podcast. You'll know it's up when it's up. And also, if you get a chance to watch Rebecca, hey, click that like button, or any of the other videos we have there. Click the like button for us, okay? So please go to YouTube and join us there, and watch some of the videos. And thank you again, Rebecca, for being on tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for the invitation.
All right, all the best.
My
Bye for
pleasure.
now. Yep.
Bye for now.